Hi everybody, how are you? So as you can see, I'm coming to you via video. One of the reasons for that is that it was a successful tool last year and in years past to try and get information to you because it's unfortunate but true that we have a really hard time focusing at the beginning of a lesson, and you really need to get information so that if you have, despite what I've tried to do to settle you down, if you are continuing to be off task, etc., then you can reference these lessons via video and learn them at home, in your spare time, in class, whatever needs to be done. And it also keeps me from saving my voice and being really frustrated, so that I can spend individual time with people who are working at different stages of whatever project that we're working on. So, and that's really important right now because we're coming up on grades and a lot of people aren't finished with their projects or are in multiple stages of their projects. So, to that end, hopefully you have already copied today's aim and essential questions as you've known from the beginning of the semester. Hopefully you have gotten your folder as the first thing that you did when you walked in the room. Hopefully you're sitting quietly in your seat with a pen and writing these notes. That's what we're supposed to do. And if you don't have a folder, come and see me. I'll give you a new folder. And remember that you are responsible for your folders. If you leave them on the floor or you don't put them away properly, like things in life, they tend to be lost or thrown away by the custodial staff who come in and clean up after you. So we are sharing a room. We must give it respect, and the other teachers and other students who use the room respect by taking care of our things appropriately. Okay, so far this semester we've learned about annotating. We have practiced that. We have thought about our vision for what it is that we wanted to focus on, and we've kind of lost that vision in all of this. We've talked about questioning skills, and we've made a hierarchical list of ways to do questions. We went from very simple questions that garnered simple answers to very complex questions in your depth of knowledge charts, that means DOK charts, so that we could get the most information from people that we can. We've written proper business letters with appropriate tone, and we've typed them and we've sent them to people, and we have either already interviewed a subject or we're getting ready to interview a subject, and all of those interviews and answers to those questions are due by this coming Wednesday. We've already missed 2 deadlines on that, so you got to get them scheduled as much as you can. I've been generous in our time constraints because teachers are very busy, and I understand that, and students are busy with other things, and I understand that, but it really needs to get done. So this week, what we're focusing on, we hope we can finish, is finishing the exhibition project by taking the answers that you got from your interviewee, the person that you interviewed, and comparing them to the answers that you anticipated in your anticipation part of the exhibition project. So if you recall, we asked 5 questions on paper and we anticipated 2 responses. Then we went out and interviewed somebody. We took their actual responses and we brought them back. So in front of you this week, you should have the answers to those questions and your graded anticipated responses. If you haven't done those assignments by Wednesday, then you're far, far, far behind, and your grades will reflect that. So 2 things this week. We want to compare the answers, and then next week we'll write a formal essay that compares the answers and your reflections about them to your anticipated answers. And that's the end of your exhibition project, and we'll move forward. Also, for those of you that are already finished with those things on a different level, what we'll be doing is writing another business letter to a person, not necessarily the person, but to a person that you chose as somebody successful in the interest that you chose at the beginning of the semester. So for example, if you want to be a singer and that was your interest, and you decided that somebody that you admired in this field was Beyonce, you're going to spend this week and part of next week probably researching how you can get in touch with those people and writing them a formal business letter, requesting something. So I have a template for you to use to write to these people. You do not have to type it this time, but you do have to be neat. And I have an example of a letter that I wrote to somebody famous and the research that I did to get there, so that you have a model of what it is that you can do and what it is that you can ask for. And so I will send out those letters personally from the school in an envelope, and that will be another part of the assignment. And after all that is said and done, we'll move on to our next unit, which is decidedly and completely different. So somewhere in the room is going to be posted all of the assignments, although you should have them anyway, all of the assignments that you have due. Most assignments were due up until last Friday only. The only thing outstanding should be the interview and the questions that went with them and the comparison that we'll do. So everything that came before that was due last Friday as an absolute last deadline. So if you didn't write the business letter, if you didn't annotate something, if you didn't do a coat of arms, that's time is up. And that's college and career ready. Can't be late for certain things. So if you have individual questions, I will circulate around the room at some point after I've taken attendance. Please don't approach me before then so that I can get things in order and I can come and help you. If you get yourself organized, I can come and deal with your issue very quickly and then move on to somebody else's issue very quickly. Okay, thanks for listening.